Welcome to the Career Ready podcast. Learn about resumes, cover letters, LinkedIn, interviewing, and all the things you need to be career ready with the Career Services Center at College of DuPage. I'm one of your hosts, Maricela Morales. Today, I'm going to talk about using AI when working on a resume.
I'm your co-host for this episode, Pierre Michaels. I'm going to start our episode today talking about a NACE competency, teamwork. As I was preparing for this conversation, I came across this quote attributed to Henry Ford: "Coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success." I think it is fitting that the person that introduced the assembly line to the automotive industry and revitalized the auto manufacturing process would have a clear perspective on teamwork. In an assembly line, each person is accountable for their own part, and success cannot be achieved if just one person is not contributing. While that concept is easily illustrated in assembly line work, it's true for all aspects of teamwork. From a broad perspective, as defined by the National Association of Colleges and Employers, teamwork is to build and maintain collaborative relationships to work effectively towards common goals while appreciating diverse viewpoints and shared responsibilities. The NACE definition of teamwork is reinforced by the work of John J. Murphy. Through his research, he identified multiple benefits of teamwork, with some being better problem solving, high productivity, smarter risk taking, fewer mistakes, more creativity, and lower burnout. Thinking of that quote that I shared at the beginning, the coming together is only the beginning, and it's when we start really working together that progress will start happening and then that success will follow. So when we think of working as that team, we really want to understand teamwork, and NACE helps with that by identifying some behaviors that reflects this competency. And one of those behaviors that NACE has identified or defined is being accountable for individual and team responsibilities and deliverables. As we look at this, I just have to emphasize that word of accountable or accountability. When we're thinking of accountability in the team, this is showing dependability, trustworthiness, really taking ownership of our actions, regardless if it's the good or the bad. And when that accountability is present, people want to stay on the team and they want to work with others. Going back many years ago, back when I was in middle school, I could think of a class project that I was working on. It was a group project, and it was a group of friends that we were working on this history project together. I think I took it a little bit more seriously than some others, and we had our assigned roles. I delivered on my part. Some people didn't deliver on their part. And then became a last-minute frantic work to get that presentation ready, to get to that point of having this presentation that we have to share. And I was prepared. They didn't. Some of them didn't work on it as much. And then that didn't just limit the project. It limited our friendship in the future, right? It hurt those relationships because there wasn't that accountability there anymore. That lack of teamwork really just not hurt the project, but it hurt the relationships around that project. So that really limited the outcome, right? So when we say teamwork and accountability, these are really important ideas, but when it comes down to it, it's how are we demonstrating these? How are we living these out to really show our ability to work as a team? So as we move forward, just to give you some ideas of how to really demonstrate accountability, the first thing is to set goals and document those goals. Because if you don't have those goals set, then you can't really define if you're being successful or not. You can't be held accountable for anything because no one knows what you said you were going to be doing. So you want to be setting those goals, and then as you move forward, you want to take ownership of the outcomes. Again, if it's good or bad, it really doesn't matter, but you need to take ownership of that, and then make sure you're meeting your deadlines. By doing these simple things, it's really going to be demonstrating accountability. It's going to be showing that you are there to support the team and what you have been helpful in and where you may need to address some things. But at least that realization will help the team work together moving forward. So as we wrap up here, teamwork and accountability are more than just words. Right? These are skill sets that employers strongly seek out. This is what they want to see in their new hires and their employees. So as you move forward here, think about how can you demonstrate those, how can you be involved, and not just in actually doing it, but then being set to communicate that through the job search process. So this could be, of course, conversations, stories in the interview, working on the cover letter, but also on the resume. And to dive deeper into a resume conversation today, I'm going to hand it off to Madi.
Thank you so much, Pierre. So today we are going to explore how artificial intelligence can help you craft strong resumes that can successfully reach your two target audience, the prospective employer and the applicant tracking system, or ATS. AI-assisted tools offer the potential to save time, enhance clarity, and ensure your application aligns with employer expectations. We'll discuss two main categories of AI platforms: career acceleration platforms such as VMOC and AI-generated platforms such as ChatGPT. Let's begin with career acceleration platforms, specifically those designed for resume feedback and LinkedIn profile reviews. While many options exist, I am going to be highlighting some of the most popular, which are Resume Worded, JobScan, ResuMake, Hunter, and VMOC. Before using any online platform, it's crucial to prioritize your online safety. So let's discuss some essential tips. First, review privacy policies. Before uploading your resume, understand how your data is stored and whether it's shared with third parties. Limit sensitive information. Omit details like your home address, phone number, or personal identification numbers before uploading your resume. Use strong passwords. If creating an account, use a robust password and enable two-factor authentication if available. Beware of phishing. Access platforms through their official websites and avoid clicking on suspicious emails or messages claiming to be from them. Now let's take a closer look at those career acceleration platforms. Resume Worded. This platform offers AI-driven resume and LinkedIn profile feedback to help job seekers increase their interview chances. It scores resumes based on key hiring criteria and provides suggestions for improvement. JobScan specializes in optimizing resumes for applicant tracking system, ATS, by comparing them to job descriptions. It helps job seekers tailor their resumes to improve key matching and ranking. ResuMake is really unique because it is free, open source, and has a resume builder that enables users to create, format, and download resumes using customizable templates without requiring an account or payment. Hunter is very useful for individuals that perhaps need a little bit of help with organizing themselves during the job seeking process. Here, they can have assistance with job search management. They have assistance with users tracking job applications, storing job postings, and organizing interview processes. It also includes resume building and job matching features. And last but not least, I want to mention VMOC. This is an AI-powered resume review platform commonly used by colleges and universities, including College of DuPage, to provide students with detailed feedback on their resumes, focusing on structure, content, and impact. I highly recommend that you please check with your institution to see if you have free access. Now let's turn our attention to generative AI such as ChatGPT, Copilot, and Gemini. Just as with career acceleration platforms, it is essential to address some key safety considerations. Here are some crucial guidelines in using these tools effectively. First, understand the lack of privacy. Avoid entering any private information. Next, prompt engineering is key. Remember that the quality of the output depends on your input. That is to say, be sure to create clear, detailed prompts and provide ample context. And lastly, your voice matters. As mentioned in previous episodes, never lose sight of the fact that your voice should always be the one to come through your resumes and cover letters. AI is merely a tool and not a substitute to assist you in the job seeking process. Always make sure you review the information to ensure it is accurate and sounds like you. With that, let's get started. As mentioned before, a critical step in crafting an effective resume is to tailor it to your audience, the prospective employer, and the applicant tracking system. To achieve this, let's start off with using a prompt like this. I'm applying for a position in XYZ. Using the following job description, please list the key skills, experiences, education, certifications, etc. the employer wants. In addition, please list in order of priority the key phrases and terms to include in my resume for ATS optimization. Present the information in a clear, bulleted list and provide action verbs for each skill. At this point, you're going to copy and paste the job description for which you are applying. With this prompt, you are going to be able to see all of the different skills that both the hiring manager or the individual that would be physically reviewing your resume would be looking for. But you will also be able to see the key terms that an ATS would be seeking as well. But then you can take it a step further. So we can take it a step further by actually comparing our resume with the job description. We'll start off by removing any identifying information from the resume and then inputting the following prompt. Please compare my resume to the job description. Tell me how I match and do not match the list of requirements. Pay close attention to the key words that are important for ATS systems. How can I better tailor my resume to suit this role? Please present your comparison in a table format. Now, I want to go over this prompt and why I phrased it in such a way. When I sit down with job seekers, I explain to them that a big part of resume writing and interview prep is reflection. So when we put down how I match and do not match, at that point, you're going to be shown how you match. And at that point, you will be able to see, okay, this is how I match the job description. Do I want to elaborate? Have I stated enough how I match this particular requirement? Do I want to give them more details? Then you have the do not match. There could be three possibilities with that situation. It could be that perhaps it's something where you could maybe easily fulfill this need, but you don't fulfill it yet. Perhaps it's something as simple as taking a free, let's say, Microsoft class at the library. Take it and then put it on your resume. Or let's say that it's something where it's going to take a little bit more time and dedication to learn that skill. If that's the case, you may not be able to put it on your resume. However, at that point, you don't want to just move past it. You want to take the opportunity to research it, familiarize yourself with what that is. If it's a technology, understand what it is, how it's utilized in the role that you are seeking, so that if it is brought up during the interview, you don't want to say, I don't have any experience, I don't know it, I can't do it. You want to take the opportunity to say, well, even though I do not have any direct experience with it, I'm aware of this technology and I understand that it is used for XYZ. And if given the opportunity to join your team, I am anxious to acquire this new knowledge so that I may help you in fulfilling the goals for ABC. You never want to go into an interview and say, I can't, I won't, I don't. So take that opportunity to familiarize yourself with skills that you are not familiar with. But then there's that last possibility. You actually do fulfill that need, that requirement. You just forgot to put it on your resume. Then you have that last one, which is how can I better tailor it? Because after all, you are trying to reach a specific audience, and you are also trying to reach the ATS. Now, we as a department, as a podcast, frequently mention the ATS, the applicant tracking system. And many of you may not understand how the applicant tracking system works. So let me go ahead and just take a moment to help you understand what happens when an applicant tracking system scans your resume. It essentially, one of two things can happen. One, they rank applicants to see who meets the qualifications best. Another thing, though, that can happen is that hiring managers, individuals, recruiters, can also do what's called a Boolean search. And so they can go ahead and input key terms looking for specific requirements that they are looking for. Now, they will base themselves on what this job description is seeking. And so it is because of that we always tell people to look at the job description, because that is what they are going to be basing themselves on when they are using the ATS, the Boolean searches. So this is going to be very critical when it helps you stand out with the ATS. So for the final step, let's go ahead and transition to using AI to improve resumes. Now, notice that I said using AI to improve rather than write. It's important to note that using AI generative platforms to write a resume is generally not advised. This is because AI generative content can lack personalization. Always personalize your resume with specific examples that showcase your unique qualifications and accomplishments. AI can produce inaccurate or misinterpret information. Always double-check the accuracy of AI-generated content. In addition, authenticity is paramount. Hiring managers value genuine expressions, so ensure that your resume reflects your voice and personality. And finally, AI generative platforms may not consistently adhere to industry-standard resume formatting and best practices. Instead, leverage AI to revise and edit your resume. Here are some effective prompts that you can use to help you improve your resume. Review the skills section of my resume and suggest improvements. Identify any missing skills based on a typical, and then put, whatever job title it may be, industry that you may be seeking, requirements. Recommend relevant keywords for ATS optimization. Another example, assess my professional summary. Is it impactful and tailored for such and such role? Analyze my experience section. Suggest action verbs to strengthen my bullet points. Advise on how to quantify my accomplishments effectively. And then lastly, given this job description, identify the top 3 to 5 skills and experiences I should highlight in my resume. How can I emphasize these more effectively? This concludes our tips in using AI in the job search process. Just remember, employers value authenticity. Your unique voice is your greatest career asset.
Thanks to all our listeners for joining us today. We hope you feel better prepared to enhance your resume while using AI. If you have a question you want to hear answered in a future episode, you can submit it to careerpodcast@cod.edu, and be sure to follow us on social media at COD Career Services.